I'm Mike Dimas, and this is Pinball Shenanigans. Yo, what's going on? It's October 13th, and it is beautiful out still. But winter is coming, so I have to work over at the garage as much as I can before it gets too cold. So gonna head over there, work on some close encounters. What I want to do today is add the ground mods that is highly recommended for these Gottlieb System 1 machines. And I haven't done this before, add in a couple fuse mods to help protect the small transformer. It's a thing that you're supposed to do, you should do, and is a good thing to do, so I'm gonna do it. And then maybe after I do the less fun stuff, we're gonna play a game. I got the tripod, we'll set it up and give it a first real play test, and then create a to-do list of what needs to be done playfield wise, switches, drop targets, roto spinner, whatever. So that's the plan. We'll see you over there shortly. I gotta say, this Close Encounters is really coming along and looking real nice. But before I get to the ground mods, there's a couple things I want to do. I've got a bit of a problem here with my lane guides. They're broken. So one thing you could do is somehow get a new one. Somehow get this piece that's broken off in here out. Maybe punch it through. And then reinstall. Same thing's going on over here. But I'm not going to do that. I'm going to try the super glue method. Just going to load it up with super glue right here at the junction point and just hope that holds. I mean, they don't pop up during gameplay, or at least they haven't, so I'm thinking some super glue might be sufficient. And then while that's drying, I can do the ground mods, and then by the time I'm done the ground mods, we should be able to play a game without messing with the lane guides. And one other thing I found in my stash, this lane guide here, and I'm going to replace this guy because it's actually in two pieces. You can see the crack there, and it's broken here. I mean, this one's kind of broken, and this one's kind of broken too, but this one's really broken, and I happen to have a new one, a new used one, so I'll pop that on there. And one other thing, install a new shiny ball, and we can get rid of this old nasty one. Okay, one dab will do ya. Once that hardens, that should be good to go. Alright, there's the old lane guide. And there's the new one. Much better. Okay, to add the additional ground to a NIWAMF board, it is suggested to scrape off some of the masking. I think Clay Hurl said to do it on the front side of the board, on the negative side of this capacitor here, but maybe that's a different variation of a NIWAMF board, because I don't think if I scrape the front side of that, much good is going to come of it. So what I can do though, so you can see the negative leg of the capacitor right there. If I just scrape some of this masking off here with my knife, then I can solder the wire right to that spot. I think, you know what, that connects right to here. I could just probably solder right to these guys. So that should work. Okay, my utility knife wasn't really working all that great, so I just took my Dremel to that spot, cleared off some of the masking, soldered my wire to it, and then I soldered one of these guys onto the other end, and then that'll probably end up potentially there. see if I had left myself enough wire. Well, would you look at that? Just the right amount of wire, and doesn't look too bad either. Looks like it belongs. So good to go there. Now gotta find a good spot for ground on this power supply, because usually you attach it to the negative side of this capacitor, I think, but since this is radial and not axial, I don't have access to the legs, the leads, so I had to figure out something else here. Okay, driver board ground mod is done. And you tie the wire into the negative lead of this capacitor. Scraped off some of the, sorry, my headlamp, when I hit record, looks like a friggin' disco. Doesn't look like that in real life though, only through the camera. But yeah, scraped off some of the green stuff with my Dremel, soldered the wire onto it, and connected it here. So that one's done. Okay, where I have the black lead is where the negative lead of the capacitor originally went. And with the help of Corey Cook of London Pinball, he said that R9 here, oh, I didn't turn on my multimeter. Anyway, that has continuity from that resistor to that spot where the capacitor leg was, or still is, just on the back side. And also this R102 here, that had continuity, and also R8 on the left side here. So I went with R8 and connected this wire to here. So now that's grounded. I don't know if that's going to be a problem at all, but I posted it in the Pinball Repair Help group just to make sure that, you know, that is actually okay. I think it should be, but we'll find out as soon as I turn on the machine and see an explosion. Okay, so Gottlieb didn't add fuses where they probably should have, and they eventually did for the small transformer. So this is a recommended modification to do. It seems simple enough. I haven't done it before. So you cut off this blue-white wire on lug 6. Make sure you got lug 6 here. What is that? 4, 6, 13. Doesn't help when people paint over the numbers. And then you attach it to a fuse clip. Get a piece of wire, attach it to the fuse clip, and then this wire goes back to the lug. And you pop in a fuse. Just got to find out which type of fuse it is, and then screw this into the bottom board, and then rinse and repeat for the other fuse. There might be 3 that I need to add total. So we'll do some reading and make sure I get it all figured out and sorted out here. Okay, that wasn't so bad. So just remember, lug 6 and 2 amp slow blow fuse, and then that is done. So next one is lug 7, which in this case is white brown wire, and then we need a 3/4 amp fuse for that. Can't remember if it's slow blow or not, but I'll check that out in a moment. Okay, so that is done. That is a 3/4 amp fast blow fuse, and I think this ultimately becomes 12 volts or something. And this, I don't even know what they are really. I just follow the instructions and do the recommendations. There is one more fuse that I do need to add because it doesn't have it. This is, I guess, the 115 volts coming into the transformer. So that is what this clip is for, and that is going to be a 1 amp slow blow fuse. Except the battery on my portable soldering iron is starting to go, so I don't want to start the process and then not be able to finish, because then I can't play test. So I'll come back with a fresh battery. But other than, you know, hunching over the machine for half an hour, it ain't so bad. You could obviously remove the whole bottom board and put it on a bench and make life a little bit easier, but it ain't so bad. So ground mods are pretty much done. I guess I could do the soundboard, but again, lack of battery, and fuse mods are almost done. So I think it's time to play test. All right, let's give this thing a play test. I got my pen and paper ready to go to write down any issues that may pop up. Oh, and on a side note, these ball guide rails seem to be pretty in there, so I think they should not be a problem. All right, so here goes nothing. We'll see if we have the issue where the ball doesn't kick all the way over into the shooter lane occasionally. I think that's a Gottlieb thing. I've had that on other games before. Fresh rubbers. All switches cleaned up. Spinner lubed. Hey. Didn't get a hit there on my roto wheel. You know what? I still have to kind of deal with the roto wheel, like clean all the targets and deal with whatever is going on over there. It's like trying to spin, like I hear the solenoid firing, but it ain't spinning, so maybe it needs to be sort of latched into the home position before it'll spin. Find out right here. Should spin now, I'm gonna guess. There we go. And probably will not spin. Hey, there's that new switch on the slingshot here that worked. Let's see if this fails. Yeah. Did not work. I was assuming I was going to have some issues with the roto. I'm excited to work on that mech. I watched a couple videos. Looks like a ball of fun. But definitely needs some love. Oh, is this set for 5 balls? Yeah, it looks like it is. I'll have to change that. Although it's been pretty evil, so... I don't think my 10-point switch here was registering. Let's try this. What? Why aren't you registering? Okay, let's try the other 10-point switches. Ooh, not. Okay, that usually means that one of them is stuck closed, and then because of that, they're all not working. What about this guy? Oh. Ease up there, Billy. Come on now. Slow down there. Hello. Fly. Stop it. Okay. That is not playable. Okay. And that target is sticking, see that? Under the plastic. So I need to add a washer underneath those guys. All right, my list is getting pretty big already. All right, my method for checking all of the rebound switches is to look from the underside. You can look from the top side, but you know, it's more telling from the back side. So I shine a light through, and then I have a look, and you can see that those two switch contacts are not touching. Let's see if I can find another example here. How about this guy? You can see they're clearly not touching. So I went through all of them, and there's one over here that the lug was kind of bent over a little bit. So maybe that was the problem. The lug was touching the other lug or something. But other than that, I don't see any issues. So we'll give that a try. I did resolve this target here getting stuck. I just added a washer here and loosened this guy off a little bit, and that ain't gonna get stuck anymore. Okay, have a look here. Much better. I actually removed the washer. I didn't really need it. I just needed to ease this off a little bit. I had it a little too far down, and that was the issue. There's tons of clearance. I don't want to hit that because that's going to cause the roto to go into angry mode. I think it's just really gummy and really needs a cleaning. So I'll have to deal with that another day. But check this out. Our rebound switches are working again. So it must have been just that one switch where the lug was bent over a little too much. But that is good to go. I can cross a couple things off my list so far. Okay, I don't think I can really do any more effective play testing without addressing the roto wheel first, because everything triggers the roto wheel. Spin roto. Right roto target value. Okay, that's not a spin though. So both in lanes spin the roto. All the upper lanes spin the roto. The target spins the roto. This lane spins the roto. So I don't really think we can get too far with play testing until that is addressed, but nonetheless, let's see what happens. Now, oh wait, shut up for a minute. I don't understand why none of the roto switches are working though. Like, yeah, I get that it doesn't spin, but why are my targets not registering? Not hitting it hard enough? Or are they just really super gummy? Am I just missing them altogether? That's my problem. I do want to get a good couple spinner rips and some drop targets. Yeah. Well, that's weird because before I was pushing in on the targets. I was trying to like check all the light bulbs, and they were registering before. But anyway, that thing is a mess. So what I can do probably next time is literally turn the playfield upside down and rest it in the cabinet. With these Gottlieb System 1s, you can do that pretty easily. And then I can work on it a little easier, but who knows, maybe I'll have to take the whole roto mech home so I can really clean it properly. The old laundry tub. How did I light the spinner? And like I said, I want to see some hey, that switch didn't work. Okay, what about this one? Ooh, I think that's tied into the roto targets themselves, because that's supposed to do roto value. So I bet you it's not the switches per se. That is the issue. It's the whole friggin' roto. Okay, so what ball am I on? Ball 3. See if I can knock down the drop targets and maybe light the spinner. You have to hit ABC. 2 drop targets left. Here's C coming up. That did not light my spinner. And it's going to reset all of my drop target progress. Ball 4. If I am going to bring this to the pinball sale that we're having at Forked River, November 16th, 2025, then I think I will actually leave it on 5 balls. Because if someone walks up to the game, plays it, it destroys them in 12 seconds with 3 balls, then they might not be interested in buying it. But if you get 5 cracks at it, oh, then, you know, it might be a little more desirable. Oh, no. I'm not quitting. 2 more drop targets left. This is the old 7-10 split. Oh no. Uh-oh. Oh, okay. Thought the MPU froze up on me. Let's just hit start. Wait. Oh, okay. We're all good. We're all good. Drop targets are still happy. But, okay. I think I am probably going to wrap it up after I hit these drop targets. Alright, I think that's good. So, I think everything is functional except for the roto target and these switches that are tied to it. So, kind of getting close, We're probably like 80% there. So, I think that's a good point to wrap up for today. We'll see you on the next one. Bonus footage. I decided before I go, I want to actually try out this Lizzie board. Now that I got my Raspberry Pi in there and my SD card. That way I know I have a good MPU, because I still have 2 of Corey's MPUs and I should get them back to him at some point. So if this works, then I'd say between that one and this one, I'm probably safe to return Corey's board. So let's try this Lizzie board for the first time in 3, 2, 1. Alright, what are these lights saying? I need my glasses. Where are my glasses? Oh, here they are. It says switches. It's good. Whatever that is. And whatever that is. 5 volts, looks good. We boot it up. Oh, Lizzie. What's it saying? Closey 969 boot. Oh. What was that all about? Okay. No fancy attract mode. Well, let's hit the start button, see if anything happens. 3, 2, 1. Oh, I think we have 0 credits. So, let's remedy that. Whoa. Interesting. Well, that's kind of cute. All right. Here we go. 3, 2, 1. Got a different sound package. Okay. This Lizzie board is probably not going to like the roto wheel getting all crazy from time to time. But everything seems to be good so far. Let's give her a whirl. Hey, wait a minute. We don't have any playfield lights. And I'm starting to wonder if this is even the correct game ROM, although I do have it set for close encounters. It did try and spin the roto when it hit the switch up there, so maybe that's right. kind of doing what it's supposed to be doing, except for the fact we have no playfield lights. And the sounds are very bizarre. Gottlieb System 1 sounds are pretty meh to begin with, so I don't know that this is any better or worse. Actually, is it just the same tone? No, there's different tones. Okay, well, I guess I have some more research to be doing on this Lizzie board, but other than lights, I think everything's working okay, so that's not bad. Okay, so this chip says solenoids and lamps. So this connector could be suspect because it goes to driver board and these are all the lamps, so I don't know if it's something to do with that. I reseated it. I reseated these two guys just in case. Unfortunately, that didn't solve the problem, but it is kind of cool. I kind of didn't catch this the first time, but it says Lizzie 1, 9 a.m. EO4, wait for Pi. So got to wait for the Raspberry Pi to boot up, so it's informing you to do that. And that reminds me, I think Dave Sousa told me that it takes like 30 seconds for these things to boot up, so be patient. And then it doesn't say close something. It says, come on, Pi. Getting impatient. Hello. It's been like, oh, there. Close encounters 96.9 boot 52888. I don't know what any of that means, but it's definitely on the right code. So that's pretty cool. That works. And it saved my credit, so memory's working. Start up a game here. So the only thing is that I got no lights. Wow, GI, just no controlled lamps. So I checked all the fuses just in case, and it was definitely not the issue. So I'll have to look into that, but this Lizzie board has promise. So I should probably return Corey's boards. Anyway, I think that's about it for now. We'll see you next time.